All right, so let's talk about the let's talk about the Boogeyman, if I can say the name at all. So I just finished playing it, and just some quick little things I want to get out before I uh, go more on about it. Um, Things that I didn't like. Let's start off with bad things. Things that I personally didn't like is how to get the happy ending. Uh, you cannot get the happy ending without using the walkthrough for this game. You cannot do it. And I think that's why I found really frustrating because I'm an idiot. As everyone who has watched any of my videos will probably know, I'm an idiot when it comes to games. Which makes no sense because I run this channel. Um, but you know, like there'd be no way that I would be able to figure out some of the puzzles and some of the definitely how to get the happy ending without using the walkthrough, which I guess is the most frustrating thing for me. Was how I actually would have no clue just how to get how to do it. Uh, I'll respond to that later. Um, it's just that's such a frustrating thing for me because like with Mermaid Swamp, I guess that was different. By the way, I loved playing Mermaid Swamp. I guess that was different because it didn't have any pre-expectations in my mind. With the Strange Men series, you set up a formula of basically you're going to get one solid ending, and the Sandman set up that if you're going to get a different ending, the main choice will be at the end. And that was my preconceived notion going into this, was if there is going to be like something that's going to dramatically alter the ending, it will be at the end, which obviously it wasn't. It was all throughout the game, which on a personal level, I just personally don't like that. The Sandman didn't bother me because if there was to be a main plot point, it was at the end. And you could easily go back and change it. Well, with this, you would have to replay the whole game, probably multiple times in order to get the happy ending. So I personally didn't like that. And also, I was going to say that I didn't like how I couldn't connect with Keith. I could connect with David, and I could connect with Sophie, but I couldn't connect with Keith. And he, to me, was such a one-dimensional character until the end. And I'd say that was not expected. I actually was not expecting him to have so much character at the end. But if I would have preferred if like we got to meet that Keith a little bit earlier in the game. Because let me tell you, I hated Keith so much. He was one of the most unenjoyable people to play in this. I liked Lance more than him. But at the end, you really knocked it out of the park, Uri. You really did. I already talked about the voice acting. What else was I going to talk about? I was going to talk about how just with this whole series, personally, this is just my own personal opinion, the first game is still the best. Because it was the first game it was the only game in the series where I really could connect to. And, I am going to finish playing the Strange Men series. No doubt in my mind, I will finish playing that. Because the Hangman from the preview, it looks really weird. I have no clue. I think it's going to be interesting to see how the Crooked Man and how the Hangman are different games. Because so far, when I hear the Hangman, I think of the Crooked Man. So it's going to be interesting to see how those games are different. What else? Good job on the voice acting for everyone voice acting in that. Good job. Good job to you. Because I wouldn't be able to do that. The only thing I think I would suggest with that is, have everyone record on the same mic and at the same distance. Obviously, I know since these are people all around the world, you obviously cannot do that. But I would suggest just trying to get that, because you could obviously tell when a person is recording. Like, I could tell with David a couple of times if the person was farther away from the mic, if they were right up close to the mic. I could tell. And I could also tell with different audios, like when different microphones were used. And that was really, I guess that pulled out the illusion. It was really bad at the beginning, not too bad at the end, but, you know. Again, I know that's not in your control at all, so take that one with a grain of salt. And also raise up the voice acting audio. I know I already nitpicked this before, but please, 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 if you're gonna fix anything, please fix that. Please do that. You know, I'm also gonna mention just in this how much I do bash, like, these games. Well, I don't, like, bash them, but, like, how much I do criticize these games. And that's because I love these games, you know, and it's kind of like, I think it was with the Game Care Network, with GameSins, or, Dartigan. It was with one of them where they said that the reason why, like, they basically do, like, cinema sins, except with games. So they sin games, and one of their channels, I think it was Dartigan actually, mentioned that, you know, if we give a high sin count, that doesn't mean the game is bad. And if we give a low sin count, that doesn't mean the game is good. Things have to be happening in the game in order to get more sins. But the sin number doesn't equate to how bad or good a game is. Like, these games, I find them brilliant. Although how much I bash them while playing, it's because I'm frustrated with myself about playing these games. And it's also, like, it's also just a personal preference thing. You know, personally, I just have things that I like about games and things I don't like about games. That's just how I am. I think everyone has that. And I really do love all the games I play. But it's just like the little nitpicky things that I like to focus on in these videos. And, you know, like, personal message to, like, Uri and, I almost said your name wrong again, and BG Person and all these developers of the games that I played. I do love your games. Like, your games are some of the best games I played, and I love games with story in them. Are we okay, audio? Yeah, okay. My audio program's just freaking out a little bit. Yeah, we're cool. Okay. But, you know, it's kind of just, it's personal preference, and I do love all these games, and I think all these little developers, you guys are amazing, because there's no way in hell that I could create a game like this. There's no way I could. There's no way. So you guys are all amazing, and even though I bash your games and I point out what I find wrong with them, they're all really good. Again, just with this series, I think it gets a little bit more bashing because, one, there's more games in it, and two, there's previous games which I go off of. And that's why the Crooked Man is my favorite of this, because I find I could just connect with David way more than I could connect with any of the other characters. But yeah, good job. Just good job on all of you. And if you ever want to develop a game, or if you ever, whatever the hell you want to do in your life, do it. Even though people may bash you, sometimes people bash you out of love. That sounds like a sex thing. I didn't mean it that way. If you're thinking it that way, did not mean it in that way, but, you know, sometimes things just don't come out the right way. Anyways, thank you all for listening, and I'll see you in whatever the hell I play next. Because at the moment of this recording, it's November 12th. I have no clue when this video is going to come out, and I have no clue what I'm playing next. By the time this video comes out, obviously I will, but at this moment, I don't. I'm thinking of either Transistor or The Walking Dead, so I don't know. But thank you guys for listening, and I'll see you in the next playthrough. Bye, guys.